I was really excited last April to learn that I had received 2 research awards, one from the Library Company of Philadelphia to be in residence there in December and January, and the other from the National Endowment for Humanities to participate in a seminar at the American Academy in Rome. Both of those were to conduct my research on Anne Hampton Brewster, a Philadelphia writer from the 19th century. So in order to be selected to participate at the American Academy in Rome, participants had to submit a proposal describing how research projects would coordinate with holdings in the archives in Rome and the topic of the seminar, which was the Italian Risorgimento. Italy, as we know it today, did not exist politically until 1870, and the Risorgimento refers to all the political efforts on the peninsula to unify the diverse independent kingdoms. The time in Rome really motivated and inspired me for the upcoming month that I have in Philadelphia at the Library Company. The Library Company holds all of Brewster's correspondence, other than those few pieces that might be elsewhere, and all of her published works. And so I'll have an opportunity to dive into the letters from and to Italians that are there, and also from Americans who spent time in Italy with Brewster. And it will, I hope, further my project on American women writers in Italy. For many years, one of the aspects of my professional goals has been to recover American women writers who were popular in the 19th century, but really unknown today. And among those, Anne Hampton Brewster is one. She wrote and published short stories in magazines in Philadelphia and New York, and she wrote 3 novels, none of which is available today in a published format. The way that Brewster is connected to Rome and the Risorgimento is that she spent the last 25 years of her life in Italy. She didn't go to Italy until she was at mid-career, midlife, and for that reason she interests me, what her life can reveal about women later in their career making a major change, like going abroad. Okay. Brewster is not unlike some other Americans who went abroad in the 19th century. It was very common for Americans who believed themselves well educated to take the grand tour, to learn about history and art of Europe firsthand. So many traveled from the British Isles to the Mediterranean with a lot of stops in Italy. Some of the American writers that most people are familiar with are Nathaniel Hawthorne, Samuel Clemens, Harriet Beecher Stowe. They all took the grand tour. Some of them went for specific purposes like marketing their books. Some went to have a luxurious, inexpensive place to live and write. Nathaniel Hawthorne was one of those. Anne Hampton Brewster provides us with an examination of a lesser-known woman in comparison to some of these better-known writers. Many of these artists who went abroad isolated themselves and spent their time with other Americans and other English-speaking Brits. There were a few, like Margaret Fuller from New England, who devoted themselves to interacting with the Italian culture and understanding the Italian political life. I'm interested in seeing the degree to which Anne Hampton Brewster was engaged with the Italian political and cultural life, and the degree to which she was isolated, just escaping life in the United States. It's really difficult for me to say what the most important item is that I've taken away from my research so far. The entire month that I was in Rome at the American Academy was stimulating. I was there with about 15 other scholars, professors from the United States and from Italy, and we had seminar 3 mornings a week where we talked about the Risorgimento, and I spent time in the archives. During that month, I have vivid memories of 2 aha moments. One was actually in an archive in Florence, coming across a letter that Brewster had written to an Italian literary and political figure. Short letter written in Italian, really revealing her day-to-day activities, and that letter is not cataloged in any of the writings on Brewster that I've seen so far. So I had the feeling of, I'm maybe the first American who's seen this letter that Brewster wrote to an Italian. In Rome, I had the opportunity to visit an 18th century villa and garden that was the home to a literary and academic association, sort of what we would say a private club for literates. It was an association that Brewster joined. She was nominated for membership and joined within the first few years that she was in Rome. And I had the opportunity to look at their membership books, their membership records, and to see when she was nominated for membership, when she joined the society. And I was also able to look through the membership records and see how few Americans and non-Italians there were who were part of the society. So that gave me the opportunity to relive or rethink what her experiences with Italian literary folks was like.